I've known Jack since he was that big. Good. So Jack, I'm going to give you the mic. Tell me when you want me to press a button, and I'll press your buttons. There we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Jack Royal.
Okay. That's the first one.
This slide shows before and after pictures of me. I'll now try to fill the years in between. I'm 19 years old, and despite everything, I always try to see the funny side of life. Go ahead. Until about a year ago, the main purpose of my life was to be a patient. Go ahead. Now I'm a person. I'll explain. I was a poorly baby. Pictures. At 2 years old, after lots of seizures, which started when I was about 18 months, I was diagnosed with TSC. Over the following few years, it was a battle to cope with the complicated seizures and my autistic tendencies. Despite all that, I was a bright lad with above average IQ. My uncontrollable epilepsy became life-threatening and I would need resuscitation and suffered a cardiac arrest. I was born with several small tumours in my brain and one giant cell astrocytoma, SAGA, and tumours in other organs. By the time I was 7, the SAGA had grown to a life-threatening size. It was decided that I needed brain surgery to remove or reduce the SAGA. The first time the neurologists went in, they couldn't remove anything, but they fed an Omara reservoir to drain the fluid from my brain.
Jack, light on the table.
Hand it to me. Which one I get rid of?
Then in 2001 I became very ill. I had more and more fits and was spending a lot of time in hospital very poorly. Doctors said the only hope for me was to remove the tumour immediately. My parents were warned that I might not pull through, and even if I did, I might be permanently brain damaged. I had to go into Adbrooks for major brain surgery. Professor Pickard and his team performed an amazing 7-hour procedure to remove most of the SAGA and save my life, and surely I started the long road to recovery. This operation changed me as my memory area was damaged. Once again my SAGA grew, and in 2007 I had emergency brain surgery. I had severe hydrocephalus which caused major blood pressure on my brain. Another 8-hour operation was performed and a shunt was fitted to help drain my ventricles. I was in a wheelchair after my surgery and was very poorly. This changed my life dramatically, but over time I managed to return to school. With the aid of a one-to-one helper, I managed to keep in mainstream school for a while, and then I transferred to a special school where I had intensive support. At 16, I started a 2-year course at Norwich City College in a department reserved for teenagers with autism and Asperger's. The other students had their problems, but I was the only student with a medical condition. In April 2010, just after my 18th birthday, under the supervision of Dr. Chris Kingswood and his team at the Brighton and Sussex University Hospital, I was accepted on the trial for a tumour shrinking drug. I was the first person in the UK to use it, although at first we didn't know if I was on the real drug or a placebo. But after a few months, it was clear I was on the real drug because my kidney and liver tumours shrunk to a quarter of the original size, and the size of my brain tumours reduced as well. But when I started the trial, I was 17 stone, but recently I weighed in at 12 stone. The weight loss is a result of me becoming active after years of being sluggish and with no motivation. From the time I was 8 until I was 18, it seems as if my learning abilities had been on hold because my short and long-term memory was poor. Since taking RED 001, I've had a lot of catching up to do. I've just finished 2 weeks work experience in the post room of a local firm of solicitors. I'm now doing some more work experience in the office of a double glazing company. Recently, I was out having lunch with my family. A lady who had nursed me in hospital lots of times was sitting at a table close to us. She was amazed at the change in me. She said she had remembered how she had nursed me and brought me back so many times. She found the transformation so emotional, she cried. The last 17 months have turned me into a different person. It's like I've metamorphosised into the real Jack Royal. I've been reborn. I now want to help and encourage other TSC sufferers and their families to look for new hope in the future. 16 years ago, my family wouldn't have thought I would be as well and capable as I am. So by looking at me and hearing my story, others can have hope. Now I'm here, and instead of being totally dependent upon family and carers, I can go out alone, catch buses and meet friends without supervision. I can be left at home alone. This is wonderful. I never thought I would be like this. Professor Pickard and other medical professionals kept me alive, but RAD 001 means I've come alive. I hope you understand what I mean. I would like to say another thing. I know I'm not the only one with my condition, and I know there are people more severely affected than myself. But from having Skype and Facebook chats with many people all over the world, I know that it's not the end of the world to have TSC. At the beginning of 2010, I started using Skype to video chat with TSC sufferers in America, Iceland, Mongolia, and various other countries, and I want to give hope to people across the globe. This is a Facebook status update recently posted to me by a TSC sufferer who lives in America. She said, "Jack Royal, thank you so much for becoming my friend. You've taught me so much about life and it has helped Rain and myself. You're an inspiration, most definitely. Thank you for being you." Now I'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone who has helped me over the years, and especially my mum, who has had to learn to let go of an 8-year-old child and cope with a 19-year-old teenager, all in the space of a year or so. I can't leave out my sister Andy and stepdad, my sister India and my stepdad Andy. Both have given me so much support over the years. Thanks also to the TSA, who has given me and my family much needed support, especially in the early days when I was first diagnosed. 18 months ago, I was an overweight 8-year-old child with special needs, learning difficulties and many disabilities. Today, I'm a 19-year-old man with a medical condition. Thank you.
Let's open the curtains again. If people want to